Okay, Dan, great. Thank you for taking part in the YouTube videos for Race4Rene, and perhaps you may want to give us a little bit of an introduction to who you are and how you knew René.
So I'm Dan, and I'm recently graduated from Edinburgh. I went to school with René, so I was friends with him from, I think he joined in year 9, so from the age of 14, 15. Became very close very immediately. Did lots of sports together. We then hang out after school, holidays. I went to Croatia with him and his family at festivals, and then I went to uni separately and came to visit a few times. Yeah, we had a very, very lovely relationship. He was a great friend, one of those extremely loyal, the kind of person you would want to invite to every Friday night you're doing something. You want them to be your friends, kind of always heart and soul, just always up for a great time. And it's just incredibly sad how someone could suffer so much without anyone else knowing, really.
There was no clue, was there, as to what René was going through?
I think there was. I had one conversation with him when I was in my first year of uni, and he was coming up to visit, and he said, "Oh, Dan, just to let you know, I'm coming to visit, still coming up for birthday, but I'm not going to be drinking at all." And I said, "Oh, why?" He's like, "I'm on antidepressants, but it's fine, nothing. I had a great weekend, didn't matter. We were just kind of same old, didn't really matter." And then from that moment on, it was kind of like, in my eyes, it just seemed fine, and there was no. I didn't have the insight of his life in Bristol, which was very much different to when I saw him. It's holidays or weekends, and I'd have no inclination that there was anything going on at all.
It must have been a tremendous shock to you to hear the news.
I remember the message I got and the phone call, like it was yesterday. I was in Lidl shopping, then I was kind of finishing my order, and so I get this message being like, "Damn, we need to talk. It's about René." And I just had this sudden kind of like dark curtain come over me, and my heart just sunk, and I was like, this can't be good. This can't be good. I remember just like not being able to pay, having my friends have to pay for me as I spoke to the phone, and just kind of like immediate sense of just shock, of just like, we hear these events happening, and you never really think it's going to happen to you. You never wake up and go, "Oh, you know what, I think that hear an awful story and think, oh, that's far away from me." And to have it happen when I felt so far away, and so kind of, because I was in Scotland at the time, felt so apart. I don't know, the walk home back to my house and calling kind of a couple of friends, having to tell them the news as well. It was just kind of by far the most traumatic day I think I've had ever. And it just the realization in the kind of the next few weeks were just like a blur of crying myself to sleep, seeing friends and reminiscing, and having these like jolly memories, and being kind of really hard to put the two together, where you were almost celebrating his life with your friends, but at the same time you just wished he was there every single time you'd meet up. No matter how, it's quite hard to hang out with not hard, it's sometimes it's so sentimental to hang out with our school friends, thinking Ren should be there as well. And that hasn't really changed for, just over 2 years. I think there's barely been a day where I haven't thought about it.
Did you blame him for what he did?
I think there was, I never blamed René. I think there was an immediate sense of guilt, and I started blaming myself. I was thinking of the awful feelings that his family were going through, and felt this seeing parents so sad and seeing sisters so sad. I felt this huge kind of sense of if he knew, and you don't know if he knew, but if he knew how much that would impact everyone around him. So I wouldn't say I blame him, but there was definitely a sense of just anger. But it was more anger that I've got to now live my life without him. And I kind of think of my birthdays and my hopeful wedding in the near future, and he would have been that table one person sitting next to me, the guy commenting on all these, bringing life and soul into every kind of event that there's the anger is the blame is that he can't be there and he's not able to witness what I would love him to be around. But I'd love him to have him at these kind of big moments in my life. And I think everyone else feels the same, that the easy days are the days you go to work and you go home, and the hard days are when you kind of birthdays and events, and thinking kind of, imagine if he knew that a group of his friends, majority of them have no sailing experience at all. I've read sailing courses at Atlantic Ocean for him, in memory of him.
In most cases you might think this is dangerous, you should be stopped, but what a great idea.
It's an amazing achievement, and I think I've been in a sailing boat once or twice. Maybe twice. I've never been...
twice? That's, compared to the others, that's good crew.
I've seen experience.
Second mate.
And I've always enjoyed it. I mean, my grandfather was a huge sailor, and I think he's done amazing sails as well, and so my mum was very excited for me, and I haven't actually signed up for it yet, but I think I am going to now.
Okay.
But yeah, I will be there. And I think he is just 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks on a boat. To me, sounds almost like hell. But the sense of achievement, the sense of what we're doing it for, and the hopeful impact of raising awareness of such an important cause. We've just had kind of Mental Health Awareness Week. It seems that everyone's talking about mental health, and to know that people are going to these extraordinary lengths to raise awareness, and that people running half marathons. I did a half marathon September of last year. I mean, that was one of my most emotional days, just kind of running for 13 miles and thinking of René every single pace. I was just thinking, this is you, you're putting me through this. And then you've got people doing marathons, and it's all for this incredible cause, which is amazing. And I think he would be incredibly proud of us, that we are we're doing things that we'd never normally do, which is, I don't know, it's like, I think if I told him I was going to do this transatlantic sail, he'd laugh at me and shake it off and go, oh, no, you're not. You can't imagine you're on a boat for a day, let alone 2 weeks.
But he'd encourage you as a teammate and as a...
Yeah, and I think he'd enjoy it as well. He would he'd be a great member of the crew to have, and I think we probably will think that whole...
And in some ways he'll be with you anyway, won't he?
Of course.
In spirit?
In spirit he will be there. In spirit he's been with us ever since, and you talk about people living through memories, and all I can think about are my jolly memories of watching him wakeboard in Croatia, and then me trying to get on and just failing. And he was like, no, you just got to hold on to it. And get back and I try again. My upper body strength was just not quite enough. And he'd do it effortlessly. And it was like all these sporting things that René could just do effortlessly. And I just follow along, we like, give it a go, but he,
An inspiration.
a real inspiration. And I never really, his rowing career, I'm sure other people talk more about because I wasn't that part of it. But I know that he was just, rowing became a huge passion of his. I remember playing football with him. He was our keeper for a school team. Water polo, it's just endless sports that he would just pick up, and I'd have to practice 10 times as hard. And his motivation was just always there. Always had that goal that he was aiming towards.
But his legacy will be after the race that there's more dialogue, more talk, the subject's more easily broached. And that's going to be a good thing.
I definitely hope so, and it definitely will be. It'll be talked about, and I hope that all of my friends will be talking about it, and just being able to open up is a huge ask of people that have just hidden it for so long. And I've got through Ren's death by opening up with people. And I remember quite soon after his death, it felt like everyone was kind of treading on eggshells around me, especially my friends who didn't know Ren. And it felt like they were like, oh God, are we allowed to ask if he's okay? And I was very much, I'm going to be able to talk to you, and me talking and opening up my feelings to you isn't going to bring him back. But if it hopes that someone else talks, someone else opens up and gets that reassurance, support that everyone deserves, it will prevent the butterfly effect of people opening up. It shouldn't really be a campaign, it should be the thing that's there anyway. And I think especially with young men being able to hide these kind of depressive emotions is one of the biggest problems of society at the moment. And I really hope that campaigns like this, there are a huge number of campaigns going on similar, that are, I think I saw kind of footballers opening up, and you always look to these kind of elite players as, oh, they're probably living their best life, they're getting paid a hell of a lot of money. But no, the pressure on them is just more than anything else, and mental health needs to be taken so seriously, that these campaigns and these charities are so important for society at the moment.
Every success with the race. We will talk many times more in the weeks and months to come, I'm sure.
Thank you.
But Dan, thank you very much for joining our video.
Thanks very much.